Looks like I was wrong about the Zeniths. Their ship didn't explode on its way to Sirius like everyone thought.
And we saw how they lied about creating a better future at their launch facility. Guess they lied about what happened to their ship, too. But still, the tribe's settling amongst the stars.
I couldn't put a single dent in their shields, Varl. That one Zenith almost killed me.
That didn't stop you from resurrecting Gaia. Won't stop us from using Hephaestus against them.
Let's hope that's enough. Think you can hold the fort while I'm gone?
If Aaron stops listening to the same music over and over again, maybe. We'll be fine.
Varl looks happy about his training partner.
Learning is best done together.
Have you gone back to Plainsong at all?
I thought about it, but I wouldn't know what to tell them. The chorus already thinks me a thorn in the thicket. If they knew what we did to Fa, even if they understood, there'd be little they could grasp about all this. No. For now, I must leave the tribe behind.
Sounds like you met my friend Talana.
Yes. The Karja Huntress. I haven't seen armor like hers since the Red Raids. But Varl tells me that she too suffered at the hands of the Mad Sun King.
Yeah. She's one of the good ones. Trust me. You've spoken with Kotallo?
A few words. Tenakth don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
So you've been talking to Gaia?
Yes. She was kind enough to take me through some of the history of the Old Ones, including their demise and the heroic actions of her creator, Elizabeth Sobek. I was surprised to see she was you. Past, but reborn? Not that I claim to understand how.
You've been getting to know Erend, I assume?
Of course. Any friend of Varl's is a friend of mine. In this case, a very loud friend.
What are you up to?
Gaia was kind enough to put together a list of glyphs used by the Old Ones. She helped me decipher some of the data you've collected, and showed me how to use the focus to help the process. It's not easy, but it's been working so far.
That's good to hear. I see you've settled in.
Gaia did say this place was built for us, so we could regain control of our lands with her terraforming system. Nurture them like the land gods do Plainsong's fields. It does strike me as odd that a place of life should have so much metal.
You've been getting to know...
Of course.
Did Gaia tell you anything about the Zeniths?
She did. Though it wasn't exactly easy to believe. To think that there are places among the stars where life can bloom as it does here. It is humbling, to say the least. And heartbreaking. That such life should be bent on destroying ours.
Did Gaia tell—
She did. To think that there are places— It is— and heartbreaking.
So, how does a tribe like the Utaru manage to maintain the peace with warriors like the Tenakth?
By holding them off. When our fields bloomed aplenty, the Tenakth looked upon our lands with envy. But Plainsong's dishes provided sanctuary and high ground to keep invaders at bay. In the end, even the Tenakth saw sense in a truce. The Utaru promised to provide the Tenakth with food. In exchange, the Tenakth would relinquish one of their own, a veteran, to train the Utaru in combat. This custom was abandoned a few years after the derangement. But some veterans still remain in the plains.
I believe I've met them already. I've been meaning to ask, what's the deal with you and the chorus? You didn't seem to be on the best of terms.
That's what happens when you're the one Utaru who insists on publicly defying them. Twice. When the Carja invaded the Utaru plains, they did more than just attack our villages. They burned our fields, took our people as slaves, and murdered those who were too weak to make the trip back to Meridian.
To be sacrificed in the Sun Ring.
I was helping the healers back then, as waves of refugees swarmed into Plainsong. The chorus was divided in how to face the invaders. So others believed the dishes, and while they bickered,
You called your—
to all living things, and I try to bring comfort.
I couldn't have been—
I come from a small— My grandmother used to say there would— I moved to the dishes when I decided to— when the Red Raids but the injured kept pouring in. One day, I woke up to hear a Carja I rushed there with the healers to help the smell of burn.
I'm sorry.
I made it a point to demand that we take I was denied.
You said you set out to fight the Carja.
I did. But it turned news of my disagreement. Before I knew it, I had more than a dozen Utaru warriors ready to follow me into battle. We knew we couldn't take on the Carja army, but we also knew that we ambushed, sabotaged their supply.
Sounds like you were a
Enough that the Tenakth took. When the clans began to push the Carja back east, they let us join their ranks. We chased the enemy all the way to Barren Light.
You said you were at Barren Light when the Tenakth defeated the Carja?
Tenakth marshals climbed the cliffs of the Daunt under cover of night. Then attacked. Before we knew it, the gates— What happened next? When all the dust and blood set our enemies defeated, I went back. It didn't feel like I'd truly—
Is that when you—
I thought— Then you came along. I could either sing at people—
I'm glad you chose— You said you—
Tenakth— What happened when our enemies— I went back. It didn't feel—
Is that when you—
I thought— Then you came— I could either—
I'm glad you— Right, I should probably go.
I shall return. I thought you—
You've been getting to—
in the—
Did Gaia tell you—
She— to think it— and—
I've got...
Go. Aloy, we've gathered some supplies in that chest. Take what you need.
Is it me, or did the old ones just look funny?
Funny how?
Their clothes, they're weird. They're so tight.
For once, I'd have to agree. I'd rip those things to shreds in a fight.
Guess they didn't move around as much.
Hey,
Hey.
a nice place.
Well, it's...
Right. Well, I can see why you, there's a lot to take in, but I don't...
right. How are you settling in?
Varl's been helping me get the lay of the land, when he's not getting all tongue-tied. I don't know who makes him more nervous, that Gaia lady or our new...
Well, what about the Vanguard? Aren't you supposed to be...
I sent some of them back to Meridian with a message. I doubt Avad will mind me sticking around to help the savior of Meridian.
So, you've...
He's, I thought his people were supposed to be bloodthirsty maniacs.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
So, Talana came by the...
Yeah, more like rushed through. That was the only Carja I've ever met who's any fun. But it seemed like she had...
I see Varl gave you a...
Well, it doesn't look as fashionable on me. Granted, a lot of them are bad, you know, the old world ending and such. I'm still trying to wrap my head... I never really understood how you were ever able to find my sister back in the Sundom. And now I do. Sort of. It makes me feel like I could be useful. You know?
It takes some time, but... yeah. I guess you know what we're up against by now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Varl first told me those bastards come from the stars, I thought he'd eaten too many of those medicinal berries. Yeah, but I've gotten used to seeing impossible things, thanks to you. I just wish they weren't always trying to kill us.
Yeah, you and me both. I better go.
Right.
Gaia? What's this space for?
This would have been the sleeping quarters for Control Center operatives.
Well, it's getting some use. Looks like Erend and Katalo moved their stuff in.
I wouldn't have taught you the song if I didn't like the way you sing it.
So you like...
Holograms. Gaia, I thought you said the data here was lost.
I was able to repurpose the equipment to store the data you have acquired in your travels.
It's a shuttle. Like the one I blew up at Far Zenith's launch facility. Varl seemed pretty interested in space travel. I guess he wanted a keepsake. Looks like someone's made this space their own.
I see you found Varl and Zoe's room, Aloy. I believe they wanted private accommodations.
I see. That looks like one of the Utaru's land gods. Like the one we killed in the sacred cave. I'm not sure I'll ever fully understand, but seeing something that represents life and prosperity turned into a weapon, it couldn't have been easy for Zoe.
So the old ones painted their faces with something called makeup, like the card show. Why? Yeah, it beats me.
It probably meant something to them. As it does to my people, and the Tenakth.
I just think my face says it all as is, that's all.
That it does.
Door's locked. Maybe Gaia will be able to get it open later. Looks like someone's put some of my stuff in here.
Aloy, I see you found your room. Your companions thought you would appreciate a private space of your own.
That was thoughtful of them. My old spear. Rust helped me make it. When I finished my training. Feels like so long ago now. When Varl found me after the Hades Proving Lab, I thought I saw Rost. I don't think he'd understand any of this. Or what I have to do. But still. Wish he was here. I've been carrying Elizabeth's pendant with me for months. But since we're gonna stay a while, I think I'll keep it here, where it'll be safe. Elizabeth put all of her faith in Gaia. And Gaia put all of her faith in me. If I can do it all, recover the subfunctions, defeat Forzineth, heal the world, I'd like to think Elizabeth would be proud. This is the rite of passage that Vishav gave me at the embassy. I liked him. He seemed like a good man. I think he was really looking forward to going home. Argala's attack at the embassy. The marshals ambushed and surrounded, killed one by one. Reminds me of the massacre at the Proving. Back in the Sacred Lands. So many lives wasted. And for what? Door's locked. Maybe Gaia will be able to get it open later.
Anybody seen one of my machine strike pieces around? Oh. Hope it didn't get stained.
Laura must have picked this up at Silence Workshop. I guess it's what Silence used to Capture Hades before he moved it to that orb. I don't know what bothers me more. That he tricked me, or that I didn't see it coming.
Aloy, I've been told of our enemy, and your friends showed me to the vision and gave me this, but all I really need to know is where to train and when to fight.
Welcome to the team, then. You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so as I grew older, I came to Tekote. I fought by his side and led my squad on a danger. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light from the east side.
That must have gotten you.
Indeed.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave?
I was sent to the Kulrut by Tekote. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. Never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above my station.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Kul, I'd be forced to forsake the I'd never be allowed to check. After our victory, I said it would be selfish to run, even though he knew perfectly well it was exile. Guised, so I became a marshal.
I'm sorry you had...
I am not. Though it pained me.
When we were at the Bulwark, the Wings of the Ten, what does it mean?
The visions tell, and for us to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Kulrut. Many times I imagined it as a child. The feeling of freedom.
When we were at the
And for us, and it is why many times the feeling of
the Wings of the Ten, what does it mean?
the visions tell us that the Ten, and for us to, and it is why many times the feeling.
What did Chief Hekarro...
You spilt rebel blood at the Grove. There was little more to be.
Well, I'm honored he lent me...
Indeed.
What did...
You spilt. There was.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal. At least for a little while.
Indeed.
What are you looking at?
The others have been helping me decide, so I thought this Hephaestus.
Yes,
How many?
as many...
Such power.
Now that you know who the engines,
I'll admit, I find them vulnerable.
for now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut.
You've had some time. Any thoughts?
I admit, farmers don't look for effective.
I'm told she rallied some and fought all...
Interesting.
I should go. Feel free to check in on Hekarro and your people.
I will. May the Ten walk with you.
Looks like this room's changed. Is that your doing, Gaia?
Yes. I have repurposed the displays to track the cauldrons you have acquired data from. When you're ready, please merge ether with me. Afterwards, I must discuss an important matter with you.
So, what did you want to discuss?
While you were away, I received an unusual transmission on my dedicated Eleuthia frequency.
Eleuthia. That's one of the sub-functions you couldn't detect before.
Yes. The transmission occurred so slowly that at first it seemed like an accidental blip of data amongst background static. Once I noticed this irregularity, it took some time to collate the complete message.
Coordinates. Where does it lead?
To a mountain to the northwest of this facility. A word of caution, Aloy. It is possible this transmission is genuine. It is also possible it is being broadcast by someone, or something else.
You don't think it's actually Eleuthia?
I am uncertain.
What's SOS?
It is an old world code. A distress signal. A desperate plea for help.
Why would Eleuthia send a frequency only the two of you?
I believe it was done as or at least to create the... I am also uncertain why Eleuthia would expect that I would be able to detect. As far as it is aware, I no longer...
Okay, so... either... or someone else is trying to get us to go to...
That is my conclusion.
Could the Zenith...
According to the data, the Zeniths recovered the other guy. It is feasible they use...
So... maybe they sent it thinking...
Possibly. However, if they intended to provoke, I would expect the communication...
Right. So maybe it's... You said the coordinates lead to a mountain to the northwest. What's there?
I have no record of anything of note in that...
Okay, and what about the other number in the message? 237. Any idea what that means?
I have queried my available. Perhaps its meaning can only be understood at the
Alright, I'll go to the coordinates and check out the source of the transmission.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
I included Erend and Varl in this briefing via their focuses. I concur that you should not investigate this alone.
What if it's a trap?
Of course it could be a trap. But if it really is Eleuthia, then it's in trouble, and I need to bring it back. Don't worry. I'll be careful and...
We're coming with you.
Fine. Go grab your things.
We'll wait for you at the west exit, in case you need to upgrade your gear.